Hi, Brad, product specialist here at Kinsey, and today we're going to talk about model year 21 features that have been added to our Kinsey Blue Vantage display. And in keeping with really the easiest to use display in the market, we've added more features this year from an integration standpoint and a lot from customers like you to really enhance the experience. So let's kind of dive in. Of course, the big feature set and addition for Blue Vantage is, of course, our TrueSpeed high-speed metering system. And, of course, it's on Blue Drive and Blue Vantage equipped planters. So, of course, we're supporting TrueSpeed high-speed planting with our Blue Vantage and Blue Drive equipped planters. We kind of walk through some general setup to get you to one of our plant pages and talk more about what is new for 21. And again, with our simple interface to get us to our task setup, and these are just, again, general fields that we've planted already. We're going to make a new field for this example, and we're going to hit add, and really not a whole lot has changed on this task setup page from previous years. The big item though, and another big feature add for us this year, is the integration of our hydraulic true depth downforce. And on our pressures box up here, if we tap on that, it takes us into where our pneumatic down pressure has previously resided. Now we have our settings for true depth hydraulic downforce. So we can have some general settings. We can see we have our 3 presets, and then we also have the ability to easily change away from those presets to really dial it into your ground conditions in the field. So a lot of flexibility, but we've moved and now have true depth integration for model year 21. The nice part about, again, any of our software updates is they are backwards compatible and are always free. So as we release this software for this coming spring and planting season of 21, if you had a standalone downforce system, you could upgrade and integrate your true depth into your current Blue Vantage equipped planter. So we have our downforce option, we have our settings here, really nothing else we need to change. Again, a simple layout, anything you need to set for your planter is still there like we've always had for the last several years. And we're going to go to our plant screen. So again, general layout, this planter or this demo version like we have here is set up for a high-speed planter. So this is what a high-speed planter user interface would look like. The nice part about Blue Vantage though is, again, no matter if it's high-speed or standard true rate vacuum meters, the user interface is exactly the same. If we look at our layout of the screen, again, very similar to what we've had for several years. Of course, the biggest difference is we've added that true depth feature. And now we have true depth mapping from ground contact, applied force, and sense force are all mapped row by row on our screen as we're planting through the field. So for this year, we now have the ability to select all of our different map layers by tapping on that box in the upper right-hand corner. You can see all of the layers that we have access to see on this field. Of course, we have our 3 additional maps for true depth. And to select any one of those maps, we simply hit, for example, our ground contact percentage. We're going to press on that, and now we have our ground contact map. Again, mapped row by row, and of course you get a row by row ground contact map as well. If we want to change to another downforce map, we simply select our selection at the upper right. We hit applied force, for example. We know how much downforce, again, we're applying row by row, real time on our mapping screen. We tap on our box again. We then can change, again, our map selection. You can see the pencil icon just to the right of all of those boxes, and that allows you to change multitude of configurations and settings. So for example, if we reference our true depth downforce settings, we can go to our pencil next to it, and it takes us back to the setup page that we saw earlier in task setup. Hit our checkbox to get back. We tap on this box again. We hit our pencil there. Now we can change our population. If we go back, we hit this again. You can see there's a separate pencil next to hybrid, and we can hit the pencil here. Now we can change our hybrids in the middle of the field as well without leaving that main home screen. It's only one click away. So really streamlined the operation of changing products that we've had from last year as well. Hit our checkbox, and we're right back to our main plant page. Another unique item, if we change to, let's say, a population box or actual applied rate, We have added true depth, but another nice feature for giving you the information in the field is a feature we call True Point. And what that means is you can tap anywhere on the page or on the screen, and it will give you information on that exact location in the field. So for example, when we tapped on this spot, we see that we had a applied rate of 35,020 seeds an acre. Our target rate was 35,000. We can see this example in this demo mode has equipped with fertilizer. So we can see that we had a target rate of 5. We were applying 5. This is referencing row 12 on the planter. We have insecticide configured, so we can see our insecticide is working. And then all of our downforce information. So ground contact, applied force, and sensed force for row 12 is right there. You tap it once, and you're right back to the plant page. So if you had any different colored area, again, we're mapping row by row, you can easily and simply tap on the location that is maybe a different color and see exactly what was going on that location in the field. So you can identify any potential problems or issues in the field, make adjustments, and again, get back to planting quickly and easily. So True Point mapping is, again, another feature for model year 21. So we tap away, that box goes away. Same features as we've always had. We still have the ability, just like your smartphone or tablet, because that's what Blue Vantage is, a high definition tablet. You have one finger to move your map around, and then of course pinch and zoom to zoom in and out of your map. Of course, use our center icon, and we bring our icon back to the center. Overall, main run speed changes or run changes, those are the big feature changes for model year 21. So true depth, downforce with mapping, so you have one display for every feature on the planter. We also added True Point for that high definition mapping component into the screen, so you can really dive in if there was one spot in the field that wasn't performing well. You know exactly how or what was going on with the planter at that exact location. So some run screen enhancements, and of course, as we talked earlier, our map selection changes also have changed slightly, just allows you easily to change what you want to see real time, and of course make those setting changes as well just by pressing on that pencil icon on the right hand side. Another feature we've added due to really customer feedback is really related to section control. And under settings, we of course have our easy to use section control adjustment, where you just go out and measure the distance that you want to move the seed, and we simply move the seed for you. So you just simply tell us, hey, I want the seed to start 6 inches earlier than our default 0 setting, and Blue Vantage takes care of the rest. So really easy to set section control. One thing we've added with section control, though, at the bottom of this screen is this feature that's called Outer Rows Locked. And what that does, of course, with Blue Vantage and Blue Drive, we have single row shutoff performance. And realize that depending on your GPS signal quality, conditions of the field, terrain, that might be too aggressive, especially as you get into narrow row configuration. So we now have this on-off switch that allows you to turn on outer rows locked, which means the outside 2 rows are tied together when you're driving through the field. So you can overlap farther before those rows shut off. So it's just the outside 2 rows. Once you get past those 2, it's back to single row shutoff performance. And to turn it on and off, it's of course as simple as just pressing that on-off switch. So another, again, model year 21 enhancement, and that rounds out section control adjustments. So those are kind of the changes on the run screen side. Some other enhancements we've made, again, with feedback from you guys as users in the field, other kind of behind the scenes and kind of nice to have features. So if we go back out of our task and we go back to the home page, under our Manage icon in the lower left-hand corner, if we tap on there, we've added some more feature sets into our managing. And really the biggest one is with this counters capability. What this counters allows you to do is make acre counters for really whatever you want it to be. So for example, we have 3 of them already put in here. The big request was just to have a general acre counter that allows you to keep track of, for example, a maintenance item. So we have one in here that's vacuum seals. All right, so if we had a customer or you guys replace vacuum seals, you've run for several years, we went and checked the seals, you're not quite sure how many acres you put on those. We can come in and say, hey, we have 76 acres, for example, on the vacuum seals. Another good example from a service piece would be split rows and non-split row applications. Obviously, your rear rows are running all the time, no matter if you're planting corn or beans. Of course, the split rows aren't running all the time and only used in a bean situation. You could come in here and set up an acre counter just when you plant beans or have the front rows down and turn it on and off. You can change the wording, you can name them whatever you so choose, you can reset them. So a lot of enhanced features and a little more flexibility for you as a user to add, again, unique acre counters for whatever you want to keep track of. Maybe it's total amount of custom acres, etc. So a lot of flexibility, so this counters feature is now added for model year 21. The other item under our basic reports tab, one thing I kind of wanted to highlight on there is we've had a lot of guys ask for the ability to see how many acres by crop I planted annually. And we've added that crops report feature into model year 21 as well. And we can see that by selecting our season. So in this case, if we select 2020 planting season, we can see our crops report up here. We can press on the view and the system will automatically generate this report for us. And it'll show us that, hey, in 2020, we planted 81.9 acres of corn. So we break it down by crop. And as you can see underneath, we break it down by grower, farm, and field as well. So this is a simple PDF report that we can export from the display and just simply print it off on any desktop computer, any computer, and have this information instantly without using any desktop software. So a new enhancement just from the crops report. We still have continued with our planting report information, which allows you, again, a PDF document of all of our planting functions. And with the addition of true depth, and if we look at our planting report, for example, as it generates all of our different map layers. So when we were going through on the run page in the plant screen, you could see all of our different map selections. This basic report page has allowed us to really add more maps to that information. So for example, we now have obviously acres planted per field. We give you acres per crop. So if you planted multiple hybrids, it would show acres per hybrid. Of course, this example, we have fertilizer and insecticide, so it shows us that information as well. You can see all the tabs at the bottom of the screen, and if we just simply hit the arrow to the right, we see that we have a planting report. And this is the map that we saw earlier on the plant screens. We have our percent to target map, our population applied map, our singulation map, our product map, fertilizer target, fertilizer rate and fertilizer product, insecticide applied, and then we get into our downforce maps as well. So we have, again, the same map that you would see on the plant screen. As we toggle through that, we went from ground contact, now we're on applied force, now we're on sensed force, as we round out all of the maps that the system gives us. So again, same rule applies where we go back here, we select the task that we have. It allows us to insert a USB and then export this report onto the USB drive. And just like that crops report with acres, the same rule applies here where you can take it to any computer, print those maps off, and you have them in your hand without any desktop software and without requiring anybody to do that kind of layout and work for you. It's all built in to the Blue Vantage display. So a lot of neat enhancements as we get into model year 21. Again, the nice part with Blue Vantage being really the easiest on the market is that software update process. We talked about earlier that software update is free. It's on our public website at kinsey.com. The update process takes less than a minute. You download it onto a USB drive and either plug it into the dock itself, or if you have the tablet out of the dock. And again, a nice feature with Blue Vantage is you can take the tablet out of the dock and simply insert the USB into the side of it in the shop or in the office and have the software update performed well before you ever hook to the planter. So a lot of neat features in model year 21, again enhancing what we're basing and building off of Blue Vantage and Blue Drive. Excited to see what model year 22 comes to us in the future.